All right, guys. Start by saying not good enough in any phase of the game, and it starts with me. We got out coached, we got outplayed in all three phases. And I've got to start by seeing what I can do to improve as a head coach, because ultimately it falls on me. It wasn't good enough. I thought the effort was there, but just we got beat in all three phases. And we've got to find ways to improve. Embarrassing the way we ran the ball. And again, that starts with me. And we've got to find a way. And I just got out of the locker room and told the guys, look, the only thing I know is to go back and work. And we got to find ways to be smarter, find ways to execute, and find ways to not allow the big play on defense, and offensively be able to put together drives and sustain drives. We got to keep working. I told our team, I said, we're 3-2 now. All of our hopes, goals, and dreams are still in front of us, but we're taking it 1 week at a time. I want them to remember this feeling. I said, this is it's a bad feeling. It should burn. It should sting. It should piss you off. And we need to use this not necessarily as motivation to get better, but understanding that we've got to keep working. And again, like I said, it starts with me.
Terry?
How you doing, Coach?
All right, Terry.
Hey, Coach, one of the biggest areas was their defensive line against your offensive line. What were they doing better than you guys because you couldn't get their running game going?
Yeah, they physically kicked our tail up front, and they won the one-on-one matchups. We did a poor job creating any running lanes. Finding the holes was a combination of a bunch of things. They loaded the box and we didn't execute. And it was as simple as that. Got to find a way. I don't think we reinvented the wheel because we've been capable of running the ball. And again, that's one of those things. We want to pride ourselves on being able to run the football, being a physical team, and we didn't do that today. And I've got to find a ways, whether it's me, continue to help with the run game, try to find better answers. But at the end of the day, we've got to have better plays and we got to execute better.
Steven?
Hey, Coach, you guys have said before that you just got to take what you can get. And in this game, Cincinnati was not giving you much. Was there any point in the game where you guys just wanted to do your absolute best and just get out of Cincinnati without injuries?
No, I don't think, other than at the end we put in some of the young guys when the game was completely out of reach. But we're a team that we always talk about heat fighting, even though the score wasn't in our favor and didn't seem like there was any way possible. But we just kept telling the guys we had to find a way to make a drive and make a play. So we never waved the white towel. Like I said, at the end we put in some of those young guys. But no, I mean we didn't execute offensively. We barely found many things we could do. Again, I think credit to them. It's one of the best defenses in the country for a reason. And as an offense, we didn't have any answers. And other than a few passes here or there and some things that we were able to create. I think sometimes we can get the running game going, it helps the passing game. But we weren't able to find some stuff when we had the opportunities for one-on-ones. We weren't able to get free. And then, like I said, we did such a poor job running the football. It didn't allow for much execution as an offense.
Steven, go ahead.
Hey, Ron, this was another week where an opposing quarterback had a big game. Ritter kind of came into this game, I wouldn't say struggling, but not playing as well. Then he had kind of a career day. For the secondary, I guess, what are the answers? What are the solutions in terms to get that unit to playing better?
Yeah, I mean, we have to improve there. I'm not trying to hide from the fact. There's things, I think it's all of it, right? I'm not sitting here to say it's just the secondary, right? It's got to be the safeties, it's got to be the corners, it's got to be the nickel, the linebackers. There's certain things depending on the coverage, right? The defensive line. So, defensively as a whole, we can't allow these guys to make these big plays. We have to find a way. We had a lot of missed tackles again today. A couple big plays, but really it was just the execution. It's a combination. Like I said, I still feel like we've got the right personnel, and I still feel like we've got the right coaches. We just got to do a better job when it's all said and done. And I do feel, I really mean this, Steven, I feel like we're getting closer and closer, but it's just at some point the gap's got to close, or else it's going to be, even though we're halfway through a regular season, it can be a little, the rest of the 5 games can be really difficult. if we don't find a way to, not allow these quarterbacks to have career days.
Clayton?
Hey, Coach, in 2018, you guys got off to a 1-3 start in conference, managed to run the table and reach the conference title game. Obviously, that was in divisional setting. But is there something from that season, from that run, that maybe you can draw upon moving forward to try to make a similar run here?
Yeah, Clayton. Look, we're and I mentioned to you guys this during the week. We're taking it one day at a time, one game at a time approach. I want us to think about this when we have to find the corrections, what we need to improve upon from this game, get it cleaned up, and then our focus needs to maybe turn to South Florida. Right? We know South Florida is a young and hungry team with a new head coach. But we're going to take it one game at a time approach. Right? Like I said, our record is we're 3-2, and if we find a way to win the next one, and then find a way to win the next one. But again, I think it's going to have to start with us just continue to be able to practice better. And all those things ultimately, again, fall back on me, Clayton. So I got to figure out what we got to do as a team to get where the sky is not falling, right? I mean, there's a reason why we're able to win some of those games, and we do have a winning record right now. Am I pleased with the result today? No, I'm absolutely disgusted. And I've got to do a better job of making sure we're heading in the right direction. And I think we'll be fine. If you just came from our locker room, our heads were not held down. I think there were some upset people, and I assume that no one's more upset than our staff or our players, but we know we all got work to do. And to draw from a previous season when some of those faces weren't even there. And me as a coach, I just know, look, we're going to go battle every single day and find ways to improve. And we just hope we like the result, at the end of the day after next Saturday.
Anthony?
Hey, Coach. Is there any one positive thing that you can take from this game to build upon?
Yeah, it really wasn't. I can sit here. I'm not going to sit here and try to paint a picture of it and occur. I do know our guys didn't give up. I didn't hear one guy bitching at each other. I didn't hear anybody pointing the finger at each other. In fact, when we got to the locker room, the guys all were nodding their head when I said we all got work to do. And they were all sitting there saying, we got you. We know. And I think it's crystal clear that they understand that. And so that's the one thing as we talked about this is now, regardless of all the adversity we faced, is we have to continue to actually bond even closer. I told them if there's ever a time that we need to be a family and come together and keep fighting together and be there for each other, it needs to start now and needs to continue. And like I said, that's the one thing I know about this 2020 Memphis football program. Hopefully we got a lot more wins left in us. But I do know the kids care, and I do know they fight, and I know they love each other. We're going to continue to head in the right direction. I truly believe it.
Ryan, at this point in the season, being able to, go off these last two games, what do you think is the main thing that you guys have pointed out is like, we need to fix this right away because it seems like that the problems have just been adding up from week to week. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know if look, we have had some issues in our secondary, but we had a lot of issues all over the field today. So I can't sit there and point the finger at them. They know they need to improve. It's not like it's a surprise. Whether we're playing man coverage and we're getting beat man to man, or the zone and we're not in the right spot, or we got to maybe create better calls that will put us in the right position. So, like I just keep saying, and I'm not beating around the bush, it's a combination of things that we need to do to improve our secondary. And look, I believe in those guys, and I think we'll get it fixed.
Also, how much of this was just facing a team like Cincinnati versus, the issues that are coming up? Because it seems like, too, Cincinnati, obviously, they showed why they're a top 10 team. So was it more them showing how good they were, or, as you said, continuing to fix the issues that you need to fix?
Yeah, look, 100% of the credit should go to Cincinnati. They kicked our tail. Let's call it what it is. They're a great team. They're probably going to win a lot more games. But ultimately, we didn't do what it took. Offense, defense, or special teams, we didn't do anything that it took to win this game. And we got out-coached, and that's something I've got to fix. And I know our guys will come back and continue to work to get better.
Raven?
Coach, so I know that a lot of the offense is predicated on what you guys can do when running the ball, but today you guys really weren't able to get that run game going. So how do you feel like not being able to have that run game stifled the offense?
Yeah, I mean, uh, in 22 years, I've never had a run game as effective as it did today. And we got to be a well-balanced offense in order to have success, right? We've got to be able to, even when they load the box, win our one-on-ones and find the answers. And then, but we also have to be able to execute a running game. We can't too many TFLs, too many things that occurred in our backfield. Like I said, not only does the offensive line need to improve, but the tight ends and receivers, you know, the running backs, it's a full phase deal. But I was not pleased, and you know, when the run game doesn't work, like I said, I take pride in everything we do in our program. But you're exactly right. And like I said, with me being as heavily involved in the run game, I'm embarrassed as a coach. It falls 100% on me. And I probably won't sleep until I figure out a way to make sure this running game is back executing at a high level.
Terry, last question.
Hey, Coach, can you walk us through the rationale for not going or going for it on the first drive of the third quarter instead of taking a field goal and going for it on fourth down?
Yeah, I think at that point where we were, you know, the 4th and 1, we got to be able to get 1 yard. Obviously, we struggled to do it, and we didn't get it. Their defense shoved it right back at us. We didn't execute. You know, maybe I probably should have had a better play call. And that, again, like I said, I'm not pointing the finger at anybody else other than me with that stuff. And we didn't execute. We got to find ways. And like I said, I knew our guys wanted to keep playing, to keep fighting, to keep falling back. We just didn't find ways to execute what we need to.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.